Okay, well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another Engineering the Markets. My name is Jared, and it is June 7th, 2022. Thanks for joining us today. And obviously, let's look and see what sort of analysis we have for the market today. So the S&Ps, as mentioned yesterday, remain range-bound in their roughly hourly consolidation. We have our daily, quote unquote bull flag that's been in formation for a couple of days. And obviously, when you trade sideways like this, you often get your VPOC starting to form around a key price level. This is mostly indicative of where a majority of the trade takes place during the range-bound trading. So yesterday, we found the market drifting a little bit higher in the morning session, a turnaround play into midday, and then, of course, into the close. Not too much in the way of additional volatility, but we did see a lot of chop around our quote-unquote VPOC level, about 411.50 on the SPY, and the SPX about, obviously not with volume, but you'll want to think about 41.17. Roughly where the market closed on yesterday's session. So definitely an area of interest for the market. Moves lower from this price can be seen as potential oversold plays back into your VPOC. And of course, as we rise through this range, any sort of rejection often leads us back to this target. That's been sort of the norm for approximately a week. Now, you might be asking, what sort of performance are we seeing across the market during some of this back and forth trade? And when you pull up something like a sector overview, you'll notice that yesterday wasn't necessarily bullish or bearish throughout a lot of the sectors. There was just a lack of overall performance. A lot of the gap up opens across things like consumer discretionaries and even communication services were either faded throughout the session, and some of the relative strength needed across the three main sectors, technology, healthcare, and financials, you'll notice that most of these are flat. Therefore, a lot of things are turning back to Friday's close and basically resetting next to previous day close, which happens to be last Friday. So from an intraday trading perspective, when you see these kind of reversions to a start point or an area of inflection, usually the market will stage another sort of move away from these areas, at which point we'll look for another directional play. But yesterday was all about that fade back into what is essentially our high value zone across the market. So some things that might be affecting the market short term. We certainly want to call out continuation in interest rates. We do have a rise once again starting to form in the 30-year. We're looking at about 3.2 on yesterday's high in regards to the 30-year yield. And if you're looking at TNX for the 10-year, you'll see a similar sort of breakout above that 3% mark. Definitely, at least from a whole dollar perspective, a very important range that this particular index has been trading in. So obviously, a lot of people are concerned with the rise in interest rates and whether or not the Fed is going to be able to essentially catch up to what the bond market has proposed, along with what sort of aggressive rate hikes will they perform throughout their continual FOMC meetings. So, once again, looking at this more from a technical sense, usually when markets don't respect or respond on their trending moving average, something like a more aggressive 9 or 20, you often find yourself pulling back to the 50, and that can lead to a strong buying presence just from a trending market perspective. That's also going to be true for the TLT, which of course is going to be our inverse. And as you can see, bond markets have already started to reestablish their bearish downtrend. We essentially have our bear flag that is confirmed, and we're looking to see what sort of test occurs at the relative lows. That is, of course, with the context that this market is, coming into some higher time frame moving average support, longer time frame price levels that responded bullish. And of course, if we do get that final inflection, we'll be looking for that to maybe occur where the bull rally started back in November of 2018. Big picture here, this is a large trend line break for the bond market. And as you note, bounces are often responded with weakness. And usually if you're playing long, you often want to have a shorter time frame until you can make some larger time frame trend changes. Something more akin to a daily or weekly uptrend would be sufficient. Now, bond market aside, we also keep watch on the dollar. Similar thesis here, response off the 50, previously strong uptrending index or marketplace, and responding off the 50, we did get a reaction bullish back to the 20. This one's location-wise a little bit more interesting because we obviously lost our pivot support, and we're going to be seeing if the dollar wants to reject a previous swing low as resistance, or is this simply a deeper retracement compared to some of the previous sell swings. All in all, this is a local top at this time as we have broken the daily uptrend. We're mostly going to see what sort of consolidation takes place moving forward. And obviously a daily downtrend could easily form if we start to reject here and push below the 50 period for the first time. So keeping an eye on that, and that's obviously going to give the market itself a bit of a bullish or bearish lean. A stronger dollar puts a little bit of pressure to the equities market. And of course, a weaker dollar allows for certain sectors to outperform, some of which will boost the S&Ps and also boost small caps, which have outperformed quite a bit in the most recent bounce. So, as we mentioned yesterday, volatility, keep an eye on whether we start to turn the trend. If you're looking for some quote unquote bearish exposure in the market, consider going long volatility using vol futures or VIX option spreads. Keep in mind the complexity with these techniques, but if you're simply looking for a hedge and you don't want to necessarily go all out bearish, volatility tends to be a well-regarded area to get a little bit of downside exposure, with the idea that volatility should expand if the market goes into another more violent sell swing. And kind of skimming through the energy markets, natural gas did make a new relative high yesterday. So we're seeing additional continuation in energy, very strong bullish uptrend. Pullbacks to the 20 at this time are getting bought. And obviously, we're looking at some larger volatile swings on the way up. You'll want to note that every time we make a new high, the market usually reverses about a day or two after. Sort of the idea that this is a bit of a rising wedge in the natural gas market, and we're going to be looking to see if this becomes unsustainable at a later date, at which point it would become potentially a short candidate for nat gas plays. However, obviously with this strength, you're going to see outperformance in oil and gas ETFs, XOP specifically, very strong breakout. We talked about the compression that occurred before the breakout and how to identify swing candidates before they trigger. This is sort of the result or the after effect of a move that's already taken place. And if we look at crude to kind of complement that, while this market isn't necessarily as volatile as natural gas has been, you'll note that we are essentially hitting prices not seen since late February, early March. So we're obviously getting back into some much higher volatility price levels. with our monthly time frame showcasing what energy markets are looking like big picture. This is also true for gasoline, which we discussed and which is making new all-time highs as of this month. So energy continues to be on watch. I think the core idea here is not necessarily to short these pullbacks. We're obviously looking for maybe some relative highs to be set in the next couple of weeks, especially from a seasonality perspective. That tends to be ideal for energy plays. But the big picture here is that so far the uptrend remains quite strong. You're often going to be defending shorts and looking very, I would say, quick. Usually it's going to be opportunistic shorts until we lose this uptrend structure. That continues to be the case. So keep an eye on energy. The volatility is what's most appreciated. You want a market that's moving. But as far as being bull or bear, definitely want to keep an eye on where pullbacks get bought and how aggressive is the buying back to your swing highs. Okay, Amazon, we'll talk about this really briefly. Yesterday was a day for the Amazon marketplace to kind of reestablish value. We had our 20-to-1 split, and as we noted yesterday, a lot of the option market was going to be populated moving into this week. You'll note that there's quite a few new strikes in the short-term series. These were opened up yesterday, and that's essentially why they have, trying to remember. Actually, these might have been open. Some of these with zero open interest might not have been present, but the spread between them is a little odd. So anyway, the option market in Amazon is starting to populate. And then the closer you get to at the money, you have quite a few strikes to work with. One thing we considered yesterday is kind of just noting where the highest volume nodes are being placed. And from an open interest perspective, yesterday we were looking just at volume. So the market was transacting. There was literally no open interest from previous pre-split prices. And our highest volume node was centered approximately at 130. We're seeing the highest volume transaction at the 130 strikes. You'll note today, and this is kind of important too, a lot of that volume doesn't necessarily have to be held. It doesn't have to remain open. Could have been just day trading activity, rolling activity, something that gets managed and moved throughout the session. And that's why looking at open interest after the fact gives you a clue how much value still remains there, especially since Amazon is gapping down this morning with a sort of topping tail on the daily chart. So whether you're bullish or bearish here, I would say that Amazon's option market still has a bit of a bullish lean for the rest of the week. As you look maybe down, you're going to note that whole dollar price levels like 120 and 125 are quite heavy. However, at least based on yesterday's trade, a lot more performance was going on at around 130. So if you joined us yesterday, we talked about some ways to kind of strategize around high volume nodes. Usually you're going to be looking for ratio type spreads, something akin to a butterfly or something, structured with an uneven number of sold versus bought calls at that strike. You want to be thinking back ratio or just a 1-3-2 structure, depending on how risky you want to take the trade. All in all, the idea simply being that this marketplace has some technical interest. We have a nice gap range that's formed all the way up to about 145. We also have some swing low resistance, which has been tested and confirmed as resistance before our gap down, along with our 50 period. So if the marketplace were to have any sort of bullish trade, Amazon was a decent candidate to look for additional upside due to this particular catalyst. A lot of eyes on and a lot of people transacting at the 130 strikes. Okay, well, all in all, that's pretty much it for today. We have a couple of gap down candidates that look quite interesting. Specifically, Target has a nice gap down at this point in time. This has been in play ever since its reaction to earnings. The volatility is quite high, and obviously, you're getting some nice bounces once you sort of bottom out, along with our sort of earnings gap down resistance. So we'll obviously look at that more in pre-market prep. For the moment, though, I'll basically just take my leave. I'm not feeling quite well today, so looking to maybe call this one a little bit early. But with that said, my name is Jared. This is Engineering the Market. Trade safe today. Keep in mind that we're still a bit range bound in the market, but definitely look for those support areas of interest. If they're going to hold, especially for the oversold play, you obviously want the market to kind of run into those support areas, have its defined reaction, and then define the risk back to VPOC. That has been the strategy for quite a while, and really just watching out for whether we break the range or not today. So with that said, trade safe. We'll talk more tomorrow. And as always, stay tuned about 15 minutes for pre-market prep. Thank you.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the PreMarket Prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible day yesterday, or at least better than what the SPY did yesterday. All right. If you guys know, Jared's not feeling too well, so he took off a little bit early today. So wish him all the best, and hopefully he gets better soon. All right, let's see what we have here, guys. Let's go over the stuff from yesterday. We had Amazon on deck, which was real nice yesterday. Let's go over to that on the 5 minute. It looks like Amazon is going to be our one of our good buddies going forward here because it is trading very well. Even this morning already looking nice, down 2.1 million shares traded. So it's definitely is going to be on play again today. But look at the action yesterday. Beautiful pre-market activity, was very, very active as we expected it was going to be. Had a nice little pop. Beautiful breakout here, guys, above 126. We took this for a high of day breakout and it turned out really nice. Look at the momentum on here. This was very well trading very well and all the way up to 129. So that was nice there. That was one of my trades. I think Thor traded this as well as a couple of people that traded this yesterday that did very well. So after that, guys, the overall market just kind of pulled everything down, right? Saw Amazon. A lot of the Chinese stocks were really strong as well, wanted to get going, but the SPY again and the overall market just having other plans, right? To say the least. So here, make sure my volume seems a little bit loud. I'm getting some clipping here. Let me bring this down. How's the volume, guys? Is it okay? I want to make sure I'm not blowing your ears out. So the overall good. Okay, excellent. So again, just you see Amazon here gets toppy, then comes back down. But a lot of this had to do with the SPY. If you look at the SPY here, very similar to what many stocks did. They started to get going and then just got toppy. And you can see the sell-off here into the market day. And today we're gapping down almost 1%. We'll look at the daily and the SPY in just a second. But here's Neo. Neo, again, a lot of Chinese stocks did this. They had that initial pop. I think XBEV did the same thing. And you guys know I'm looking for the opening range 5 minute, and they just got too extended too quickly. And glad we did not chase this because look what happens here. If you chase this, you're going to pay dearly. When you see something too extended like this, you just want to leave it alone and see if any other opportunity shows up. PDD, same situation, gets really extended very fast, and the volume coming in on these yesterday was pretty aggressive too. If you guys noticed that. They had really good, significant volume. I believe Babo was another one as well that popped up pretty good with good volume, 2.7 in the first 5 minutes. And I saw these ripping. I'm like, wow, they're leaving us behind here in the 5 minute at least. But again, just everything trading downwards towards the middle of the day there around 11:30 noon time frame. Nvidia, Apple, all very similar situation here. Look at Apple. Look how clean this was. I was done with trading by this point, but look at this breakdown, guys. And again, Apple not really having much in play besides their is it WWD, WWC? I don't forget their worldwide whatever conference. Or whatever they had yesterday. You can see the drop here. A lot of it is because of the SPY, right? Not really their own news view. I mean, look at the SPY and Apple. WWDC. Thanks, Peter. If you look at the SPY and Apple, I mean, you can literally just put them right over each other. They're exactly the same, right? So it kind of SPY taking over things there. Hey, Norm. Good morning. How are you, my friend? I can't hear you. Let me make sure it's on my end. Hold on. Let me turn you on. There you go.
I said I'm doing well, but I wonder if I'm jumping to the wrong feed. The first thing I hear, I think, is like WWJD.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh man. No, you're in the right place, my friend. So
Good morning, everyone.
so yeah, just kind of going over some of the stuff here, and again, just the SPY now down another almost 1%, which is let's look at the daily there. So that was yesterday's stocks. Twitter. Let's look at Twitter before we move on. Had some action not last night, early in the morning yesterday as well. You saw this crazy drop here. They didn't trail that great. Yes, it did trend upwards here. There were better opportunities out there yesterday, so we'll see what happens here. It's just a mess when it comes to Twitter and everything else going on there. Let's take a look at the SPY here, guys. So again, yesterday gapped up, sold off an entire day, and then today we're at the bottom of this range. It's gonna be a good one today, guys. If we're losing this range again here, so gonna be on the lookout for that for sure. Norm, latest and greatest on the overall market today and this week.
I'll hit economic data first. 8:30 foreign trade balance. That's not going to do anything, and then consumer credit 3 o'clock. So a couple of not really important numbers. Big news out this morning. Two things. We got a pretty large drop on Bitcoin, on crypto overall, 6-ish%. Which my number there, my percent here, it resets at a different time than what a lot of people track, but pretty nasty drop there. And then Target came out this morning. You know, they had earnings about 3.5 weeks ago, and they got hit thin with, you know, you see that gap down. They got hit thin because of some guidance and margin issues, and talking about you know, having to some inventory issues and people shifting what they're buying. Well, 3.5 weeks later, they come back and warn again and lower the number that they lowered then. So they did say things they expect might get better toward the end of the year, but they've got to churn through some inventory and discount stuff that people were wanting and don't want now. So that's killing a lot of this retail and big box retail specifically. Like Affirm, my guess, I haven't seen anything specific on there, but I have to guess that that's included in that a little bit. I guess there's some Apple news on it too, but Target, Walmart, Amazon. So really, the down list is the really strong one today. And you know, it's mostly either Bitcoin news or Target warning that's causing some sympathy moves over there too.
Yeah, agreed. It's not looking good for these guys this morning, so we'll see how that plays out. And yeah, Affirm, because Apple yesterday, I saw part of I was listening in the background there. They're doing something like this pay later type thing with Apple Pay. So that's not good for Affirm, because I think that's what these guys do too, right? Pay now, pay later.
Yep,
type
absolutely.
thing. So, you know, you got the big guy coming into the picture. That's not good for them. Which I don't know. We'll see how that turns out. That business
And
could
no,
be
Apple business must be bad if Apple wants to turn into a pawn shop.
Yeah, I found it weird they got into that space, man. It's such a big company like that, but hey, man,
Strange.
you know,
Who
I
knows?
found it very strange.
I haven't dug into that. I've kind of
Yeah,
I didn't do a whole lot of market stuff yesterday, so
yeah. So we'll see how that plays out for them there. All right, guys, let's take a look at our gappers list this morning. We have a couple of things in the green. Coles is in the green, surprisingly, here, and some other stuff on there. And then we have, again, Target, Bitcoin, as Norm mentioned, and some other ones deep in the red here this morning. So we'll dive into those: Tesla, Macy's, Amazon, Walmart. I mean, retail all over the place here. It's not good what's happening there. So let's take a look at that. Let's go ahead and remove our watch list. Control A, Control X. Gets rid. Nope, did that wrong. Control A, Control X. Control A, Control X. Let's try that again. Am I doing this right? Doing something wrong.
apparently not.
Yeah, apparently not. All right, there it is. Yeah, weird. Okay, we'll do it manually. We'll delete this and we'll delete this. All right. Cool. Let's take a look at what's gapping up today. We'll start with Beacon. Is this a Canadian company? Wait. Hold on a second. Can you guys see this? Can you guys see this? Is this BYND
It actually is. Yeah, it's a Canadian CRM business. I don't know much about it, and I really don't see any news. So
Oh,
I don't know.
I did see something about BYND doing something in Canada, but I did not know they were going to set up their own, you know, BCAN ticker for that. Right, so they're doing some Canadian stuff out there. Interesting. So BCAN, which has a recent IPO, just opened up a couple of days ago. BYND Canasoft. So yeah, interesting. I'm not sure how that's going to be. We'll keep it off the list for now. Here's Coles, guys. I think Coles will be interesting. They are up 10% this morning, and we're seeing some good activity right now. 803,000, definitely in play this morning. So we'll add KSS on the list. YMM, what is this? This is Full Truck Alliance. Up 3.2, not a great daily, not a great pre-market. I'm gonna move on for now. Here's a VERU. We've seen this on our list plenty of times. Again, it's just continuing to gap up or down. Today they're up 2.4, 235,000. So they do have some activity here. it's not looking great, but we know this can be explosive, and it has tried to maintain towards the upside here. Short flow interest 25% there. Not sure how accurate that is with the latest moves on towards the upside. But we'll see. We'll put this here on a secondary list. VREU just in case, because they could get going. We've seen some good price action out of them in the past. All right, let's see what's gapping down. We've got plenty here. We got Target definitely in play today, guys. Just not good news, as Nord mentioned. We have Coin, which for me, I think is one of the better trading Bitcoin stocks that we've seen lately. So I'll keep this one on here. Not good for them, guys. They're down 5.3, 137. Just going to take a quick look at Mara. Maybe today might be the day when Mara becomes active. And even then, with the news we got, look, you're just not getting much going on here. Riot, yeah, you just don't get to actually use. So like news like this in the past, Norm, correct me if I'm wrong, these two will get significant volume and a lot more movement in the pre-market. You just don't see that now. So I'm going to keep Coin, and the rest just don't look great right now. HCP 40, the short flow is sticking out on this 44% there, 42%. So that's very significant. But the chart on this does look horrible. There's nothing happening here. So not in play. Looks like a block trade very early on, about 500,000. Then from there hasn't done much. So let's skip down to Affirm. I think will be interesting. Maybe a possible. I'm not sure how well that's going to trade, but not good news for them with Apple getting into their space. Riot, Mara, we looked at Macy's this morning. Not great volume. Nice drop, though. I think Macy's could be interesting. Walmart, I'm going to put on here as well. Just these retails taking a bit of a hit. And again, this is coming from just a couple of weeks ago. They getting killed here. Look at Walmart there. I'm not sure if Macy's had that big drop. I don't think they did. But definitely they have not been doing well, as you can see here. But Walmart, this could be interesting. 224,000, down 3.1. Walmart doesn't move like this, but today they're looking pretty good. And then we have a lot more down towards the bottom. I'm not gonna go through all of these now. I am gonna look at some favorites like Tesla and Amazon. Tesla, for example, here down 2.5, 527. This is worth adding to the list. Does look very, very active today, so that is nice. But Tesla is going to go on there at 697, has come down quite a bit. And then Amazon, I think, will be a good one to continue to watch today. They have a big drop as well this morning. They are down 2.5, 2.4 million shares traded. So after their split yesterday, today we're continuing with some good action, some good volume, and some good movement in the pre-market so far. So I like both for those this morning. All right, we'll stop here. Norm, anything you like on your end?
I mean, I like some of these retail names. I don't have anything separate except for, I will throw one out. It might get interesting. They had earnings, ASO. They're up 6%. Their volume's a little light right now, 75,000. They had earnings this morning.
ASO, yep.
Yeah.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that one. Okay, let's take it to the room, guys. Here we have Mr. T, Walmart. Yeah, we have that on deck, so that is good. Coast is good. We have that as well. Heading down. What else do we see here? What else do you guys like this morning? Amazon and Baba. We have Amazon for sure. Let's take a look at Baba. Baba, I mentioned yesterday, Baba was not one to sell off at the open, and man, it ripped. But again, just everything started heading down towards once the SPY couldn't hold yesterday. But we didn't get the usual sell-off we get on Baba yesterday. This morning, pretty much, still up slightly here. Not great, but it could turn into something. I don't know. We'll have to see. A lot of the Chinese positive news yesterday was kind of overshadowed by the SPYs just dropping down, right? But a lot of these did gap up pretty nicely here, but they just couldn't hold the momentum with the SPY going the different direction. All right, so we have Baba, Amazon. That's good. Thank you, Alfredo. Over on YouTube, I see Apple. Yeah, I think Apple could be a good one for today. Yesterday they traded so well, just following the overall market. But if you don't want to trade the SPY, Apple's a good one that you can always look to. Today already they have great volume. I think it would be a nice one to have on deck here. John B, is Jan a ticker? Is JAN, is that a ticker you're giving me here? Yes, it is, because I see the action coming in here. Up 24%, 967,000. Let's check the float on this, 2.3. This could be the low flow of the day. It has run up in the past, as you can see here, guys, going
entire market cap of this company is 7.6 million.
Oh, It's very, very risky, guys. Very, very
That was at the
risky.
end of the day yesterday, I believe, but
Yeah,
nevertheless,
yeah.
super risky.
Definitely in play, but
Andrew could
again,
change it with one hotkey.
be very, very careful, guys, if you're going to be playing in this sandbox here, right? So just be careful with that. All right, so that's JAN. We have what else we have on deck here? So over on YouTube, what else we got? Apple. Okay, I think we're good, guys. I mean, um, pretty straightforward list today. Neo. Let's take a look at Neo. Neo's got some good volume, 917,000, down 1.3. I have Tesla up here, which also is looking very good this morning, down 2.5. I think I'll add Neo as a secondary for now, and we can always move it up if things change, right? But what I like what I have here with Coast, Target, both of these having a catalyst behind them, Coin as well, Amazon, Apple. Yeah, we got a nice list this morning. Let's take a look at Billy from Thomas over on our YouTube chat. Billy, this morning we're up 1.8, 381,000. It could be interesting today. I mean, a lot of these Chinese stocks are trying to stay, in the green this morning. Is gonna be fun to watch that they're able to do that. They got great news, right? The pros or whatever for the year long that they've been getting investigated have been pulled off, right? So chances they're no longer going to be. What's the stock they were really focusing on? It was DI. So they pulled that off, and you look at the gap up yesterday, but again, just massive sell off. So I don't know how that's going to be today. Microsoft has good volume. We'll look at Nvidia next too. Microsoft this morning, down 1%, 2.7. Yeah, this must be although you got great volume, there's got to be a couple of block trades in here because look at the activity right now compared to like an Apple, which has 1.2 million. Look how much better this pre-market action is looks right now. But either way, Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple, these guys have been very, very active. They've been trading very well. The intraday action has been very clean. So you could pick your favorites. I like Apple today as one of the tech companies to look at. Let's not forget about an AMD as well. AMD is a little bit on the quiet side today, only 281,000, down 1.3. Let's take a look at MU. There was talks about the chip shortage kind of getting under control a little bit. So there's some positive news there. I like Nvidia out of MU, AMD, that one. I like Nvidia, probably the best one. So I'm going to put Nvidia here as a possible for now. I think they have a little bit of a better pre-market activity. Let's get rid of something here. There we go. So let's see what we got here. Heading down over. Microsoft is good. Jan has a pattern as news, pump and dump. Yeah, be careful with that. I mean, the price on this, the movement. Look what happened a couple of days ago, right? I mean, at the market open, this thing just pops up to 5, and then look at the sell-off all the way down to $3. So the following day, again, dropped off again from the face of the earth, down from 360 down to 260. So just be very, very careful about this one over here. Okay. All right, guys. Anything else? Coast proposed a price as is $60 a share. Yeah, I did see that, Ben. Yep, I did see that. All right, guys. I think we have a good list. I don't think we didn't have to work too hard today for our list. We have Coast, Target, we have Coin, we have Tesla, we have Amazon, which great pre-market activity, some good volume there as well, and we have Apple. And then on my secondary list, I have a ton of stuff. Again, I'm not gonna keep everything on here. Nvidia is a secondary to Apple on their Neo, secondary to Tesla, ASO. Is ASO retail?
Yeah,
Norm?
Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Okay. VRU.
Sporting goods.
This one I'm not big fan of VERU. I'm gonna remove this one. I'm not gonna look at it today. A firm. I want to see what this does today for them. I want to see how that trades out. What do we have here? Oh man, yeah, you're this is good. This is good. Let me share this. So if you guys were on yesterday, you guys know how I feel about this. And I did watch the WWDC.
Oh, did you go down the rabbit hole when I was out?
Peter started it. It was going very well until Peter said something. But yeah, we'll see how that goes, man. It's going to be interesting. They're actually saying for like iPhone 15, which why wait so long? Just get it done now. But they're getting a lot of pressure from Europe to get this done, having a common port, whatever. We'll see what happens. So A-Firm is good.
They'll
Macy's
probably go so far if they're forced to do it in Europe, keep the Lightning here.
Oh, dude.
Even at the extra cost of having to do two different
Two cables.
versions.
Those guys, they're
Just to
insane.
piss you off.
Probably. It's funny. I actually tweeted about this yesterday on one of their posts, and we got a little bit of time, so we'll look at this here, and let me see here. Where did I put this? And I got some responses, and people were, I knew I was not gonna get the most welcome responses here. So here it is.
Oh, really? There were people that disagreed? Please tell
me. I think more agreed than disagreed. But yeah, this is a big topic, man. This is a big deal. 24 likes, not bad, and you can just see the comments. Just madness here.
Gotcha. Nice.
But having a little fun for sure. All right, guys, let's take a look here at our list. Looking pretty good. Let's go over to community events and announcements. I know some stuff in there that we definitely want to go over, and then we will come back and fine tune this list that we got today.
All right. Don't forget about onboarding every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern with Carlos. It's open to all members, including trial members. Then Kyle's Technology webinar Bookmap Part 1 will be posted very soon if it's not already. Part 2 is next Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Strategy tonight, we have Eamon talking about trend trading. That's at 5 p.m. Note the special time, guys, 5 p.m. Eastern because of his time zone. And then next week, Peter will be talking about the Rising Devil and Fallen Angel. And I think Brian will be in that too. I think it's Brian and Peter. 8 p.m. back to the normal time next week. Psychology on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Dr. Kenneth Reed, who we'll talk about in just a moment as well, talking about trader development and wondering if you will ever get there on the long and bumpy road. Next week, 5 p.m. Eastern, once again, because of her time zone, Art of Setting Goals with Kreda. Thursday's mentorship at 11 with John, 4 with Ed, 8 with Thor. Don't forget about StockTradingSimulator.com, our free web-based replay simulator, and also TradingTerminal.com, where you can go and get your latest stock news, charts, etc. And if you're watching on YouTube, haven't been in the chat, this is an old deck, brother, very old. If you would go to the homepage and pull that up, will be much appreciated.
Yeah, it was strange because we showed it yesterday. It was updated, so I'm not sure how it diverted back to that. But either way, here it is, guys.
Keep going down. If you're watching on YouTube and haven't been in the room, you can do that intro membership. Click there. When you get to it, click that join now. It's a one-time payment. It doesn't recur, so it gives you 7 calendar days, 5 trading days in the room. Use the code PreMarket24. That's 24. And it'll get you a discount off that intro membership, which cancels itself after the week. Then you have to continue on if you'd like. Choose a different membership category. Also, anybody signing up for a new Elite Annual membership, Dr. Kenneth Reed has been generous to offer a free one-on-one coaching session with them. So sign up for that. Limited time. As the seats fill, that will expire.
All right. Thank you very much, Norm. All right, guys, let's get to it. So our list this morning, just to recap, we have Kohl's, Target, Coin, Tesla, Amazon, and Apple. Just going to review our secondary list, see if there's anything else here that we can move up. But for the most part, I think our list is looking pretty solid today. Walmart could be interesting today. Macy's, A-Firm. Yeah, these are some good possibles. I know the list is a little bit longer than what we like, but there's some good possibles in here that I think we just have to keep on deck, guys. Kohl's, Target, Coin, Tesla, Amazon, and Apple. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. All right, let's get to some levels here. We're going to go ahead and remove some of the stuff here. Let's start with Kohl's this morning. We'll remove some of our levels from previous days. And right now, we're up 11.5 on Kohl's. This is a real nice pop. So low of the pre-market at the moment, we're looking at 45.61. Towards the top, we're looking at 48.11. And then towards the bottom here, we do have a level around 43.88. So I'm going to slam a level there as well. And then below that, guys, plenty of stuff, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days there. So you are pretty much set. And then right over here, guys, looking above the 48.11, we're going to have a level over at 49.57. And oops, slam a level there, and then all the way up here as well over at a 51.30 or so. So you got some pretty good action on up and down here in both of these. The price action right now actually is on a level on the daily. If you look here, 1, 2, 3, you have a couple of days opening, closing right around that 46.61. And in the pre-market already, you're seeing how that is acting as some kind of resistance for the short-term period here. So 46.61, you can see the buying pressure coming in at that level. So definitely worth having that on your list as well, on your charts. Now here's Target, guys. Target, big drop for them as, again, we continue to just not get good reports on what the numbers are going to be as far as sales. They're sitting on a lot of inventory, just a whole bunch of stuff that is not good for them. People are not interested in the stuff they're stocking at the moment. So 43.57 low of the pre-market towards the high. We're sitting at 48.64. That's a good level there. You can see that being confirmed on the daily here as well. There's a slight level here right over here on this date, the 24th of last month, over around 145.57. I'm going to mark that down. That's a good area of support here. This date basically opened up, slammed all the way down, found support around this area, 45.57, and then shot back up. So you can see here in the pre-market, you're getting a little bit of action there on both of these. So maybe that could be worth having on deck here, that 45.57 and that 143.57 as well. So both of those looking pretty good there. Now towards the top, guys, if we look at the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days, we do have our high of the pre-market slightly below that. Within here, this is a big move, by the way, guys. Our price right now is at 148.69. The highs are 157, so almost a $10 move there alone between the price action at the moment and the pre-market high. So you can have some levels in between here. I'm going to mark down this one over here around 156.11. That's a good one there on the daily. You got a couple of touches on there as well, so that's going to be worth having there. That whole dollar number as well can bring in some interest. And then right over here, this one here is not going to be a major level, okay? 152.01. You just got 2 days opening, closing around there. So again, not a heavy level. I wouldn't put too much weight on it. You did see some slight action around that this morning. Again, nothing to put a whole lot of weight on. But you do have something in here, because if you're getting a move from 148 to 152, you damn sure be taking some profits on that if that is your strategy, because that is a very nice move, on a stock that's moving from 148 to 152. So you're set there on a target this morning. Here is Coin. Again, probably one of the better Bitcoin type stocks to trade. They got some news today, which is not great. Bitcoin is down. They got crushed yesterday. Where did I put this here? I got to actually type it in here, hashtag BTC. So if you look at their charts here, they just a huge sell-off yesterday. Today not looking so hot neither. So I think Coin's probably the better trading out of the ones we looked at, Mara, Riot, and so forth. But even then, I'm looking at it now, and it still doesn't look all that exciting. So I'm going to move this one down, guys. I think I'd rather watch something else that might give us a better opportunity to be explosive, and that can be Nvidia, that can be Neo. You got the volume there, 1 million. That can even be Walmart today. Retail at the moment, obviously not having a good day so far. So Macy's also down slightly. The only one up is Kohl's at the moment, 11.3. They got their own individual news, obviously. So Penny, yes, Kohl's does have news. I think they have what is it, 60? I just had the news. $60 per share. I lost my Oracle document. I must have minimized it somewhere. Yeah, but they do have news today, so that's gonna be in play. Let's see how that goes. All right, so Kohl's, Target, Tesla, Amazon. Where we left off, we did Target. Let's do Tesla here. Tesla is also looking very good, guys. Heading down here towards the lows of the last 2 trading days, slightly below that low of the pre-market right now. 693 for Tesla there. So slam a level there as well. And towards the bottom, clearly this 622 is a good one there, of course. And then I like this one here, 660. You got plenty of days opening, closing right around this area support and resistance. You definitely want to have that on deck. So let's see what Tesla does today. Towards the top, plenty of stuff here. Previous day close, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. You can mark down the high of the pre-market is going to be over at 710. So we'll slam a level there as well. PJ, how do I feel about AMD? Can you go over levels? I can definitely go over levels on AMD. Let me put it on here. I mean, I have plenty that are looking slightly better in that field. For example, I have Apple, which was great yesterday to the short side. I mean, just traded amazing. I have Nvidia, which is looking slightly more active than AMD. But we know AMD can get the action going and they can do pretty well. So I just don't want to be too tech heavy, but I do have Apple, I do have Nvidia, and we can do levels for AMD if you want to keep that on your list for sure. So no problems there. Heading back over to Tesla, we are all set there. Let's look at Amazon, which again, hopefully Amazon can stay active the way it's been, and we can add this to our our one of our stocks to trade every morning. That'll be nice. So Amazon here are at the moment down 2.4, great volume 2.7 as things continue to settle here on this split. Look at the volume yesterday. I wonder how many new investors got in here or new traders got in here long term just because the price is attractive, right? So instead of buying, X amount of shares, it's just feel like they can buy more now because the price is so low. It's not a thousand something. So that is interesting. At the moment, they are looking pretty good here as far as activity, 2.8 and climbing towards the bottom, guys. Their daily's okay, not great. 115.91 in here. We do have another level also at a 119.04, and then towards the top you have plenty highs and lows of the last two trading days. So let's see how that goes. Let's see if it's gonna. It was great yesterday, by the way, and I think it would have many stocks would have went higher if the SPY did not sell off, right? So if you look at Amazon yesterday, you had a really nice momentum play here. Beautiful break of high of day here as well, by the way, guys. So you can see here the higher lows being created and then the beautiful pop. You could have anticipated this trade like I did, or you could have waited for the breakout. Either way works fine, and look at the continuation you got on Amazon. So pretty nice, man. 126 to 129, and then just the SPY came in and just kind of started pushing some weight around. And you can see here Apple and some other ones just could not hold and start heading lower, including a lot of the Chinese stocks we had yesterday on deck, right? They all gapped up, and they almost, for the most part, they all ended in the red, because if you looked at the SPYs, for those that did not join us earlier today, if you looked at the SPY, you had the gap up and then the sell-off, and today in the red again, almost 1%. So interesting times at the moment. Little consolidation here over the last couple of days. We're at the bottom of this here. Let's see how we're going to end today and this week. So that is Apple. Amazon is all set. Apple, we are all set on Apple. I think we could do better levels for Apple here. Let's remove some of the stuff we had from previous days. I do like this one. It's really a mirror of the SPY at this point, right? I know they had their big event yesterday, which again, nothing significant was announced. Some good improvements to their OS, a couple of new products. But aside from that, it was nothing that was like, oh, it's going to be game changing, except for Affirm. They did announce they're going to have a pay later program through Apple Pay, which that is Affirm's, that's their core business. So that could affect them a little bit. Couple of levels here towards the bottom, 132. I don't think we'll get there. 137.30, 140.55. I like this one if we're going to have a sell-off type day. That's a good target there. And then right now, we're just kind of stuck between the highs and lows of the last two trading days. Previous day close, just a ton of stuff happening up here. Great pre-market activity, guys. Very active at the moment. So that's looking very, very good so far. All right, so that's our list already. If you haven't done so, hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. Let's get to our chat and see what we have here. So AMD, let's do levels for PJ here. So let's take a look there. Right now, towards the low, we're sitting right at the highs, the lows of the last two trade days, just right on there, trying to hold. We have gone below that just slightly here, 103.91. So we'll put a level there, and then over to the downside, 179. Might actually be 100. Another great level to have there. And then let's take a look to the left here. What do we have? Not the best, but we do have something at 97.34. Might be a slightly higher, but 97.34 looks decent here. Again, I just don't think you're going to get this move, though, unless there's a significant drop in the SPY. Like, we really need to get going towards the downside to see something like that take place, right? So let's see what happens there. Towards the top, guys, highs and lows of the last two trading days, you're pretty much set there on that one. Microsoft, did we look at Microsoft? I believe we did. I just don't want to be too tech heavy. I already have Apple, AMD, NVIDIA, even Tesla. I know it's an EV company, but it's more of a tech company than anything. Let's see what else we have. Nvidia. So that's good. Let's look at Microsoft. What's going on there? Is it getting some volume at the moment? Microsoft right now is down 1.2, and I think you got a big block trend on Microsoft. It's 2.7, right? That's obviously not showing there. If you look at it like an Apple, which has a 1.3, has some much better pre-market activity. So I think Microsoft, I'm gonna put to the side for now. All right, we got to fine tune this secondary list. Just way too much stuff on here. AMD, I'm only going to remove it because I have too much tech stuff already, and I would prefer NVIDIA over AMD. So that's the only reason why. You can keep AMD, it's just perfectly fine. The more I look at coin, I'm just have it here because the Bitcoin is down, but I'm probably not going to trade it. Neo is decent. ASO could be decent as well. A-Firm is good. Macy's and Walmart. I like Walmart today instead of Macy's. So I'm going to get rid of Macy's. Baba, I think it looks a little bit on the choppier side. We'll get rid of that. And then Billy, yeah, it's coming back down now. It's not holding this pop that originally got. So I'm going to get rid of Billy as well. And I think I can fine tune this even more. But I want to see if any of these companies that we have here, if they develop any kind of good pre-market activity, if some more action comes in on them that we can take a look at. All right, Coast dip. Is it dipping? Yeah, Coast taking a dip here this morning. They're up still 10%, 954,000. So that is looking pretty decent there. All right, what else, guys? What else we have? What else we have? What is going on with Target? Let's take a look here. Target, TGT. Yeah, that is not good stuff for Target. And as Andrew mentioned there in the chat, guys, you can take a look at tradingterminal.com to get the news. So you can head on over there and you'll be able to pull up the ticker information and get the news on any of these. So if we looked at Target this morning, we come in here and see what's going on. I got too much stuff running on my machine, so things don't load quickly when I'm trying to run like a whole bunch of stuff. But here is Target. Just click on the news, and earnings season is basically over now. Not a whole lot going on there. ExxonMobil cheap even after surging more than 61% this year. So some ExxonMobil news as well. Just a whole lot going on today, guys. I think we have a very, very nice list this morning. So we're looking pretty good as far as that. All right, folks. Anything else you guys like this morning? I mean, your list could look completely different today. It's a lot to watch. You could be heavy on retail. I got a little bit of both. I got some tech stuff here. I got a little bit of retail as well. We got Amazon. See how that is going to turn out today. See if it's going to continue to trade good or if it's going to go just kind of head back towards this regular trading. GTLB. What is that? GTLB. I never heard of this ticker. GitLab. Oh no. This is not looking too good, my friend. This is I don't know what this is, but you can just tell the volume here, 40,000, definitely not in play. And if you look at the overall daily here, this just looks messy a little bit. Every candle overlapping the previous candle here. Some very big wicks at times. Yeah, this smells like trouble. So be very careful. Depending on your strategy, the way we trade, this would not be on my list, right? So they have earnings. Yeah, so maybe did they have earnings or they're going to get earnings? GTLB. If they had, okay, so yeah, they had earnings last night. You got this one pop, but that's it. There's nothing else happening here. And I don't expect it to get better because if you look at their daily, they're not a great intraday trading stock. Doesn't look like they are. So I wouldn't be too fond of that there at all. Citigroup pre-market volume is normal. Let's see pre-market volume for Citigroup. That's a huge block trade, 3.3 million. Look at the pre-market activity. So that's a big block trade that could have happened after hours. It is being recorded today, but you're not seeing that volume as far as actual trading. So I wouldn't put too much weight on that. But you know, they are gapping down almost 1%. So we'll have to see how this market is going to treat these stocks today. But yeah, it's interesting. 3.3 million there. Definitely a block trade. This morning we barely traded over a million, you know, not even a million shares here, or a lot less, right? So let's get rid of this guy over there. There we go. Market is going to crash today. Who knows? I mean, we are slightly above a bear market, right? As far as we hit a bear market, was the 20th, was it here? I mean, we're down now. We'll have to see if it's going to crash or not. There's a lot of predictions out there that we are going into recession, that we are going to crash. Some people are saying no, this is the bottom. Who knows? Who knows? It's just, you know what? We'll have to wait and see. But right now we are looking rather weak, and all the news you're getting is not positive. It's not a whole lot of positive news out there when it comes to retail and spending and everything else. Does not look great. So um, we'll see. I just feel like everybody's waiting for something to happen for the next shoe to drop, and it just doesn't drop, right? So it's just interesting how that is working. Usually that's not the way it happens, but it's very interesting direction that we are in. That's right. That's absolutely right. Do you think CPI news Friday will the catalyst to push the market down? We don't know. We just don't know. I think a lot of stuff has to be already be baked into the SPY, right? I mean, this is nothing new. You're not hearing anything that's different. So it's amazing how when they report something that we already knew about, the market reacts so sensitive to. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You knew about this months ago. You're reacting like if it's brand new stuff, right? So it's just a weird market that we are in. Uh, we're saying some good pictures here over on YouTube. Thanks, Ty. That's a good one there. All right, guys. I think we're all set. I mean, anything else? Our moderators are coming in with their list. Lots of interest from me today. Thor says on Amazon, Baba, Apple, and Target. Yeah, that's the list for sure. Spy, Qs, and also the Pivot Alert Bot, which you can follow on Twitter, and you also have some alerts coming in here right in chat. So take a look at those. What was the good call they had yesterday? Was it Twitter, Thor? I think they called out Twitter for an opportunity there, and I think you actually took Twitter. If you guys remember, Thor took Twitter very early on pre-market for the pop there and did very, very well. So that's good. That's very, very good. Yeah, already called out Qs this morning. Did it call out the Qs? Yeah. So yeah, take a look at that, guys. If you're not doing so already, you can follow us on Twitter at bearbulltraders.com, and the Pitbot alert is at Pitbot Alert. I think it's the correct Twitter handle. Thor, if you could put it on there, I'll share with people so they can also follow that as well. Hassan, I'll get that for you in a second. We'll get you the Twitter bot there. Oh, here it is. So Pivot Alert Bot is the handle for Twitter. Follow that. Follow at Bear with Traders. You can do both of those there. All right, guys. Things looking not so hot this morning. Q's down 1.2. SPY is selling off a little bit more here, holding on to this base that we created. Had a nice rally over the last couple of days, sideways action, and then the last 2 days have not been fun. Our gappers list this morning, heavy on retail, a little tech company going on there as well. We got some good secondaries here. We got Coin, we have Nvidia. I think I'm going to move up Neo, guys, because Neo, out of all of these here, can trade so well. You know they're going to get the volume, and I just love when Neo gets going. When Neo picks a direction, it can do very, very well. Yeah, we got time for questions. Can I ask a question about ORBs? Absolutely. Throw a question on there. We are ahead of schedule this morning. Moderators coming in with their list. We'll read that out in just a second. But if you have a question, we can definitely get to it now and give you some answers here. Good morning, Bram. Good morning. Welcome. We had a great onboarding session last night, guys. If you missed it, you can catch the recording in the Education Center. If you haven't joined yet, we'll do another onboarding again on Monday. So you can join this week, get access to the chat room. And then on Monday, you can join me for the onboarding class. We'll have a lot of fun, get some questions answered, and just kind of give you a realistic expectation about trading and what to expect. Haven't really traded last week. Okay. All right. So here's a couple of lists already. Susan is looking at Amazon, Baba, Tesla, and Target. Mike is looking at Baba and Amazon. Eamon is looking at TIGR for today, potential long. And Deem is looking at Target, Baba, and Apple. I see a lot of you guys putting Baba. I took Baba off my list, but you guys are making me feel some FOMO here. I'm going to have to add this back to my list because you guys all have it on here. I don't want to be left out. So I'm going to add Baba to my list because you are seeing something that I'm not right now. And I want to be part of that. So as you can see, Baba here, it had a nice gap up yesterday. As we know, all Chinese company, guys. PDD was another one that had a nice pop. This one had a couple of really good days that we took advantage of. And then yesterday, again, nice little pop here, sold off. Again, just a SPY bringing things down. But Chinese companies are going to be interesting, I believe. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Daily R3 rejection for Baba yesterday. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. A lot of stuff got rejected yesterday on the Chinese companies there, but yeah, that makes sense. I do like that one there. Question for ORBs: Do I have to be on it? Does it have to be on a stock with a catalyst or having a high of relative volume, or can it be on a stock like NEO or AMD that has regular volume? I kind of worry I'm executing how I'm executing the strategy. Um, so that's a great question, and here's what happens. This market is very unique because you can have a stock that has no catalyst whatsoever and you're getting great opportunities just because the overall SPY, the way things are moving. If you look at the SPY, we're up 1%, down 1%, up 3%, down 4%. I mean, it's just all over the place. This is not normal activity when it comes to the SPY, but it has been like this for quite some time. So yes, as much as we want to have stocks in play that have a catalyst, that have great volume, high relative volume, and that have a great daily that trade well, that's like the trifecta that you want to have. In this market condition, you really don't need a catalyst, right? Things are moving without catalyst. The catalyst is the overall market condition. So you're seeing that. So when it comes to the ORB, you can't trade them without having a catalyst. You just have to have the volume. The volume has to be there. And you got to be mindful that things can get extended very, very quickly. I'll give you an example yesterday. I was looking at the Chinese stocks for an open range breakup. And if you look at what happened yesterday, they all ran very, very quickly. By the time you looked at the 5 minutes, you had no chance to take this for a 5-minute open range breakout. Look at NEO here. This thing went from 19 to 1980. By the time the 5-minute was created, there was nothing you could do here. You're not going to take this long, right? You need a very, very deep pullback. And if you get a deep pullback, then you start getting concerns, right? Let's say you don't have this information here. You get such a deep pullback like that, you start getting concerned. Are we going to engulf and go the other way? So getting so extended like that is something you do not want to see on an open range breakup. And that happened yesterday with Baba. It happened with PDD. I believe it's PDD. Yeah, PDD was another one that was great, good volume, but 2.3 million in the first 5 minutes. If it would have stopped here, we would have had a good opportunity, but for the most part, it just ran too much, right? So I think that's more important. Make sure you're getting a good entry on it. Make sure you're seeing good volume before you're jumping in on this. I have a webinar on the ORBs in our education center that even now, the fundamentals is old. It's like a year or two old, but the fundamentals are still the same. So definitely take a look at that. That's going to help you out a lot there. All right, guys, what's a senior note offering? What's a senior note offering? I'm not sure what that is. I thought an offering was just an offering, but I know we got some really smart people here in this chat that can get you an answer to that. Carlos, could you elaborate? The volume needs to be there for an ORB strategy. How much volume? See, the actual volume itself is not as important, like the actual number, because, for example, you got some stocks that trade heavy volume. You can't compare NEO's 5-minute volume to like I'm trying to pick a good one here, to like a Walmart, for example, right? There's very, very different. NEO gets heavy, heavy volume, but usually when you start seeing anything on that 5 minutes above, 700,000, depending on the company, above 700,000 is significant. But you also want to look at, how does a stock trade? For example, let's look at NEO. NEO's volume on a regular basis, 96 million up here, 48 million. You're getting a lot of volume. You look at a Walmart, for example, you're not getting that, right? So the numbers could be a little bit different. You have to look at the relative volume. I usually like to see, more than 700,000. Getting to that 1 million mark is pretty significant for me. And when you're looking at the price action, you can tell, you see that the tape just kind of rushing down a little bit. You see that the ask is getting piled on. So don't get too hung up on the actual number of the volume. See what the price action is doing. If you're seeing fluid price action, great movement, and a tight spread, that sometimes could be a little bit more important than the actual volume itself, the actual number, right? So just don't get too hung up on that. But yeah, you want to see, I like to see more than 700,000, close to 1 million, a plus on that 5-minute for sure. That's going to give you a good indication that we do have some good volume there. AMD just signed that. What's going on with AMD? AMD's pre-market looks so good. I'm gonna have to add AMD. I mean, I have way too many on here, but Oh no, this is not. Oh, I thought this was this morning's pre-market activity. It's not. Okay, good. Because I would say that looks good. Oh yeah, doesn't look that good. Yeah, we'll keep it off for now. We'll let Peter watch and let Peter know, tell us if it's doing anything fun. All right, so let's take a look. Moderators list coming up, guys. Let me bring this over. Let's read what our moderators are having. Just kind of recap what's going on there. It is a good day today. We have a lot to watch this morning, and so a lot of it has its own catalyst. Like retail has its own catalyst, Kohl's as well. Amazon just the split right overall. Apple did their big event yesterday. A firm not looking good based on what Apple is doing. So a lot of fun stuff. Kohl's has its own thing as well. Lot of good stuff happening here. A lot of Chinese stock have their own catalysts as well based on the overall Chinese stuff happening and regulators, backing off. So again, just a lot happening this morning. So let's take a look here. Moderators list. Let's start from the top again. We have Thor, Amazon, Baba, Apple, Target, Spy, Qs, and the Pivot Alert Bot. You can follow that on Twitter. Mike is looking at Baba and Amazon. Susan will be looking at Amazon, Baba, Tesla, and Target. Amy, as I mentioned earlier, looking at TIGR for potential long. And Dima will be looking at Target, Baba, and Apple. Jared this morning will be looking at Amazon, XOM, and NEO, and secondary list Target and NVAX after the halt. Yes, that's right. We forgot about NVAX. NVAX, Peter's reporting no IPOs for today, no SPACs. So NVAX is on hold, is halted right now because they have the FDA committee is reviewing their vaccine or something like that. So let's see what their feedback is on that. It's kind of late now, right? A little bit late to be reviewing anything. We all shut up already. Well, everybody got shut up already. So what are they gonna review here? So whatever it is, just keep it to yourself. We don't want to know. We don't, yeah, unless it's positive news. Just keep it to yourself. Let it be, and just don't say anything. It's too late. Too late. All right, so we're good, guys. Everything looks good here. 9:14. We are coming up on live trading. Andrew and Brian are up next. They're going to take us to the market open. Over on YouTube, guys, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. We're sitting at 130 likes. We'd love to get a few more for you, maybe 70 out of the 370 that are watching. That'll be nice. Get us to 200. We'll really appreciate that. But, guys, thank you. Man Max on YouTube said he wants a refund from NVAX. Good luck, my friend. It is way too late for whatever they found on the vaccine or whatever the case may be. So either way, guys, trade safe. It's a good day today. A lot going on here. Keep an eye on the SPY. Again, this is a major moves are happening there. We're down 1% and looking rather weak this morning. This is going to drag some stocks down today if it continues this way. You can see Apple, you can see NEO. They got great volume. Even Amazon down 2.4 today. So it's going to be a really good day, guys. Here's Peter's list before we hop off. AMD, Amazon, Target, Kohl's, J&J, and NEO. And yes, J and Johnson & Johnson had news as well today. It's just so many things on here. Not doing a whole lot, but they do have a catalyst there as well. So a lot going on this morning. I'm going to blame all my trading losses because I just got the NVAX vaccine. Where do we start the class actions lawsuit? It's going to be a fun day, guys. Take care. Trade safe. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. with Engineering the Markets with Jared, then followed by Norm and I at 8:30. Have a great one, guys.